This is going to be an unboxing and review of the Makita 18V LXT Lithium-Ion Cordless Impact Driver Kit. Now, they're selling this at the HD for about $99, regular $130, and if you use the right charge card, you probably get 5% off, and if you end up putting it on an HD card that you'll never use again, you get 50 bucks off. So I bought this thing for $40. I've never used an impact driver before. There are a lot of videos online that ask you, do you need a drill or do you need an impact driver? Well, normally when we use a drill, if you're going to drill something, if you're going to put a screw into a stud, let's say that you're going to put a 3-inch screw into a stud, you would normally take the drill bit. I'm going to show you what's in the box as I talk. Some instructions, manuals, 30-minute charge, the battery, and the unit. The advantage of buying this for $99 is that if you bought the battery, it would probably cost you $30, $40. If you bought the charger, it would probably cost you about $30, $40. So you're getting the tool for next to nothing at this incredible deal. So back to my example. If you were going to be drilling, putting a screw into a stud, let's say that the screw is 3 inches, you would normally have to get a drill bit, put a pilot hole in there, then you would either take the screw and use a screwdriver, or you would use your drill with a power bit and you would put the screw into the stud. And it might bind. So what's the advantage of using an impact driver? You know, sometimes you're taking a screw or a bolt and you turn it into your material, let's say the wood, you turn it into the wood, and you get to a point and the screw binds. And so what do? You stop, and then you put a lot of good grip on the tool, and you turn, and you turn, and you turn, and you turn. Or if that doesn't work, if you're using a nut driver or a socket set, which is a really good example, the socket set. Normally you don't just spin the socket around when things are tight. You take the tool and you go boom, boom, and so you're stopping and then you're doing force, and it makes it go in. Well, that's what the impact driver does. Normally, if you're using a drill, it just, if you have a power bit on there, you spin and it will bind after a while. The impact driver doesn't have a continuous spin. It has about 32, I think it's 3200, it depends on the unit that you get. But it turns, boop, it does that, it turns and it stops, it turns and it stops, it turns and it stops. And the advantage of that is you can take a screw without a pilot hole or a bolt, and you should be able to just spin it right into the wood. And because it's doing the jerking motion internally, you normally will not break off the head of the screw like you would do if you were using a drill with a power bit. So that's the advantage of using an impact wrench. Not everybody has a need for one. I don't really have a need for one, except I'm going to be putting 4 screws into the studs, and I figure this is a really good deal. I'll buy it, and maybe I will use it. So here it comes with 1 battery. And like I said, the batteries are really expensive, so this is a good deal to get a tool, especially a Makita, at this great price. I don't know how to power this thing on right now. Oh, it's brand new, been sitting in the box, not used. It comes with an LED. I don't know how the LED shuts off. Maybe it just shuts off after a few seconds. So it's got forward and reverse, and unlike a drill, impact wrenches only come with a hex fitting. So you can see that's a 1/4 inch opening, and you can buy drill bits that have that, or you can buy a chuck that will go inside, that has a 1/4 inch fitting. It will go inside there, and you can use your original drill bits if you need to. I don't know if I'll be able to show you this. Probably not. I wanted to show the... it doesn't really have a lot of power. It's on its first set of batteries and never charged. So I'm going to charge it up, and then I'm going to try to crank 2 screws into a joist just so you can see what it does. It's got some decent power, but I want to charge it up fully. And then you can see how it works. So if you're just going to do an occasional screw, like I am, that didn't sound good, but if that's really what you're going to do, then maybe spending $100 and $200 on a tool like this doesn't make sense. But again, like I said, it was on sale. I got it for a good price. And you might find some good uses for it. Some of these tools are really good, and you should be able to take a lug bolt off. Others lie about the amount of torque that they have, and they won't take a lug bolt off at all. So I'm sure you've been at a construction site before where you hear people using a tool that goes tick, 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 tick. That's the impact wrench. That's this impact driver. It doesn't sound like a regular drill. It does the little tick, 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 tick. And there is also a fitting that comes with these, or you can buy that. I don't know how to shut off this light. There's also a fitting that comes with this stuff that you can put it in there, and then you can put in your drywall screws, and it will shoot the drywall in to the right depth. And that's how drywall people are able to do their job so easily nowadays. So let me charge this thing up, and I'll show you how I shoot 2.5-inch screws into a joist. This will be my first time doing that, so you will get to experience that with me. You can see that I've got these 2 screws in the drywall in the ceiling, getting ready to screw them into the joist. And normally, if you didn't have an impact wrench, you would have to use a drill a pilot hole, and then go in there with your screwdriver or a power bit on a drill. So the whole idea of an impact wrench is an impact driver is you shouldn't have to do that. So let's test it out. I've got the I have a Phillips bit on there, Phillips head, and it has the hex fitting that all of these use. So let me just put this in here and press. You hear that sound? Okay, so it's gone into, the screw's gone into the stud, which is really what I wanted. I am not putting it in the bracket now so I can show you how this thing works, but you did hear that sound, that is how these impact drivers work. And then I'm going to pull the screw out afterwards, and so that's how an impact driver works. Makes it a lot easier than having to go in there and do the drilling and pulling the screws out afterwards. So now I'm going to have to pull out the screws that I put in there. You can see how easy they come out. And it just saves an incredible amount of time. Again, if you're only going to do a couple screws in your lifetime, this might not be something worth buying, but it is a very handy tool, and you'll probably find a lot of uses for it. This is going to save me just a lot of effort. It's well worth the money for me to buy. So good luck in your endeavors, and that's my review of the Makita. I'm really happy with the product. Good price, good tool, and saves a lot of time.